Hello viewers, this is Too Fast here. In today's video I'll be doing an in-depth review of this brand new dash camera from the company Thinkware. This one is a Q1000. This is a 2-channel dash camera with a front camera and a rear camera recording in Quad HD resolution. It features night vision 3.0 with excellent nighttime recording. It also comes with 2 power cables, so if you want you can install the hardwire cable to the fuse box and that'll give you parking mode recording. This dash camera has all the features you want on a 2-channel dash cam. I'll go over all the features on this unit and I'll show you how to install it into your vehicle. So let's get started. Here's a look at the box. This Thinkware Q1000 dash cam comes in. On the box here it tells you this is a 2-channel dash cam and both cameras have Quad HD resolution. This dash cam also has Bluetooth 5.1. It supports Wi-Fi, so you can connect this to a mobile app, and it includes 2 power cables. One for powering using the cigarette lighter plug, and the other one is to hardwire into your fuse box. On the back of the box, it lists some of the features. This dash cam has Super Night Vision 3.0, so it'll give you a very good video image, even in low light condition. It also has Safety Camera Alert, and with this, it'll give you real-time Traffic Enforcement Camera Alert. It also has Advanced Driver Assistance System, or ADAS, so it'll give you warning for lane departure warning system and front collision warning system. Now if you install the hardwire power cable, this dashcam is able to record in time-lapse recording. Also it uses a supercapacitor and a thermal sensor for enhanced reliability and extreme temperatures. So let's open this up. And right here is a Q1000 dash cam. Here's a windshield mount with a double-sided tape, so you can stick this to the windshield. Right here is the hardwire power cable. This is a cigarette lighter power cable. This is a rear camera. Rear camera cable. Mounting hardware. And additional double-sided tape. Right here is a heat blocking film. You install this on the windshield and then you stick the dash cam onto this film, and this will block the heat from the sun from overheating the dash cam. Customer service information and safety information and warranty book. It also comes with a 32GB microSD memory card. Now when you order this from Black Box My Car, you can get a bigger memory card. So here I also got the 128GB memory card. They also offer a 256GB memory card that you can get, and that's the maximum size the Q1000 dash cam will accept. Here's a look at everything that comes with this dash cam. Now one thing that's interesting is Thinkware did not include a user manual. I don't know what the reason is behind it, but a printed user manual can be very helpful if you're setting up this unit for the first time. So what I ended up doing is going online to Thinkware's website and downloaded the PDF manual from their website. So let's have a closer look at this Q1000 dash cam. On this side, there's a record button, mute button, format button, Wi-Fi button, and the power button. Right above that, you have the record LED, GPS LED, and the Wi-Fi LED. On this side, there's a memory card slot. This is where you install the microSD memory card. On the other side, there's a reset button. Looking on the back side, right here is a DC input port. This plugs for the optional radar module, and this connector here is where you connect the rear camera. Now in the front of the unit, there's a front-facing camera. The resolution on this camera is 2K 1440p. It features true HDR or high dynamic range, so you get the best exposure in all lighting condition. The viewing angle of this camera lens is a wide 156 degrees, so it's able to capture everything that's happening in front of your car. This camera also features Super Night Vision 3.0, so even with very little ambient light, it's able to record a clear video. Now looking at the front, there's also an LED indicator right here. This indicator will light up to tell you when it's recording. To install the dash cam, you need to install this windshield mount. On this side, there's a large 3M double-sided tape. Remove the backing on this tape and then stick this directly onto the windshield. Now you notice on this side, there are vents along this edge right here. This will help ventilate the dash cam with the vents that you see right here. So after you install this onto the windshield, what you want to do is slide the dash cam onto the mount and it'll lock in place. If you ever need to remove it, go ahead and slide this off. Here's a look at the rear camera. As you can see, it's very compact. The resolution on this camera is also 2K 1440p, and the camera's viewing angle is also 156 degrees. To install this camera, there's a double-sided tape here. You can stick this directly onto the back window. You can also adjust the camera angle by rotating this. And over here on this end, this is where you connect the rear camera cable. Now, as I mentioned, the dash cam comes with a 32GB memory card. But if you want, you can get the optional bigger memory card from Black Box My Car. And this one here is 128GB. They also offer a 256GB memory card. To install the memory card, slide it into the memory card slot. Now when it comes to powering the dash cam, Thinkware has included two power cables. This one here has a cigarette lighter power plug, so you plug this into your 12-volt accessory port. On the other end of the cable, you have this connector that you plug into your dash cam. The other power cable is a hardwire kit. With this hardwire kit, on this end, there are 3 wires. 2 of the wires need to be connected to the fuse box. The yellow wire needs to connect to the constant 12 volt in the fuse box, and the red wire will need to connect to ignition 12 volt in your fuse box. And the black wire needs to connect to chassis ground. On the other end of this cable, you have this same connector that you connect into your dash cam. Now, if you want to utilize the parking mode feature on this dash cam, you do need to install the hardwire cable for that to work. And if you use a cigarette lighter power cable, when you turn off the ignition, the unit will turn off and you don't have the parking mode recording. So here I'll connect the power cable to the DC input port. Next, I'll connect the rear camera cable. Now you'll notice one connector has a right angle, the other one is a straight. The connector that is straight, you want to plug this into your dash cam. And on this end, with the right angle connector, you want to plug this into your rear camera. These are the only 2 cables you need to connect when you're installing this dash cam. I'll plug this into my power supply, and let's power this on.
Please have a safe drive today.
Next, you'll need to install a Thinkware app called the Thinkware Dashcam link. And with this app, you'll be able to see the settings in the dash cam and also look at the live video and recorded videos. Now you can find this app in Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Go ahead and install it. Once installed, go ahead and open it. You first need to grant permission in order to use this app. Press Next. Allow. Here it tells you when you have the app connected to the dash cam, the recording will not take place. Next, select dash cam registration. Select your dash cam, Q1000. Next, you'll need to hold the communication button, which is a Wi-Fi button, for 3 seconds. I'm going to turn this around. And right here is the communication button. I'm going to hold it for 3 seconds. Once you hear that sound, you let go. Now select Bluetooth connection. Here it says pair with Q1000. Select pair. It's now connecting with the dash cam. Select connect.
Connected to a smartphone.
And the registration is complete. Set the language for the dash cam, English, US. Next. Select the time zone. Next. Set the region, US. Here it tells you upgrade for the safety camera data is complete. Select OK. On this home page, you have live view, dash cam settings, and dash cam info. So let's look at live view. This live view you're looking at right now is for the front camera. If I put my hand in front of the camera, you can see the image. Now if you want to switch over to the rear camera, select the R right here. Now you're looking at the rear camera. Now I'll show you a bit more of this later on when I install this in the vehicle, but let's go back. Now let's go to dash cam settings. On the settings page, there's memory card settings. By default, the memory partition is set to continuous priority. You can set it to incident priority, parking priority, manual priority, or driving recording only. If you want to format the memory card, select the format.
Memory card format will now start. Memory card format completed.
Let's go back. Camera settings. The default resolution for the front and rear camera is Quad HD at 30 frames per second. The other option you have is set the front camera to Full HD 60 frames per second, and the rear camera will be Full HD 30 frames per second. I'm going to leave it at default at Quad HD 30 frames per second. You can set the brightness of the front camera and the rear camera. by default is mid. You can also rotate the rear camera. So depending if you install the rear camera right side up or upside down, you can rotate the image. Let's go back. Record settings. For the continuous mode recording, which is your normal recording, the default sensitivity for the G sensor is low. You can set it for disabled, lowest, low, mid, or high. Super Night Vision 3.0 is enabled for parking mode. Now if you wanted to turn it on for continuous mode, here it tells you the HDR will be disabled when using night vision while driving. If you don't want to disable the HDR, then cancel. You can also select Night Vision 3.0 for continuous driving and parking mode. I'm going to go ahead and enable this. As you can see, HDR is now disabled. Set privacy recording by default is disabled. Now if you enable this, what will happen is after a certain amount of time, the recording will automatically delete itself. You can set this to 2 minutes or 4 minutes, and it's really to just protect the privacy of others, so the recording is not saved. I'm going to leave this disabled. Next is parking mode. By default set to motion detection. You can disable it or set to motion detection, time lapse, or energy saving. Next is smart parking recording. By default it's enabled. The impact sensitivity in the parking mode is set to mid. You can set it for lowest, low, mid, high, or highest. This is sensitivity for the G sensor. So if an impact happens to your vehicle, then the dashcam will detect the impact and save the incident recording. Motion detection sensitivity is set to mid. You can set it for lowest, low, mid, high, or highest. And with this, when the front and rear camera detects any motion, it will save a recording of the activity. Use external battery. By default is disabled. You can enable it if you have an external battery pack for the dashcam. Off timer is set to 48 hours. Battery protection by default is enabled. Currently, the cutoff voltage is 12.1 volt. So if you hardwire this dashcam to the fuse box, when you park the vehicle, the dashcam will go into parking mode and it will use the car battery to power itself. When the voltage of the car battery drops to 12.1 volt, then it'll shut off the dashcam automatically. You need to have some voltage protection for the car battery because you don't want to drain the car battery so low you cannot start it. Now you can set this from 11.6 volt to 13.2 volt, but I don't recommend you set anything lower than 12 volt because at 12 volt the car battery is at 50% capacity. I'm going to leave this at 12.1 volt. If your vehicle uses a 24 volt battery system, then you can also set the cutoff voltage to a 24 volt. You can also enable the wintertime battery protection for certain months of a year. And the last item is radar module. Thinkware do offer an optional radar module which works with the energy saving feature. With the radar module, it will actually monitor any physical object in front of the vehicle. When it detects the object and an impact, that's when it will record the incident. And this way you can actually prolong the parking mode runtime. Let's go back. Next is road safety settings. At the top you have safety cameras and mobile zone alert. By default is enabled. So with the dashcam's GPS and the internal database, if there are any red light cameras nearby, it will alert you of that. Here you can select the vehicle type. By default sedan. You can select SUV or truck. I'll select SUV. Initialize ADAS. This will allow you to calibrate the ADAS. Now you can do this after you install the dashcam. And as part of the ADAS, you have the lane departure warning system. By default it's disabled. You can set this for low, mid, or high. After enabling this, you can also set the speed for the LDWS. You also have forward collision warning system. By default it's disabled. And the low speed forward collision warning system. And lastly, as part of the ADAS, you also have the front vehicle departure warning. With this, if you're stopped behind a vehicle, when that vehicle starts moving, the dashcam will alert you, letting you know you need to start moving. Last item is system settings. Language is English. Volume's on. Safety camera is set to 2. ADAS is set to 2. System and others set to 2. I'm not really sure what these two are. Security LED by default is disabled. You can turn it on, and that will illuminate the front LED on the dash cam. So when it's recording, it'll flash letting you know it's recording. Rear camera also has LED you can disable or enable. Here you can set the time zone, daylight saving, disable or enable, speed unit, miles per hour or kilometers per hour, speed stamp by default is disabled. I'm going to actually enable this one. Voice recording is enabled, so the microphone's on when it's recording the video. Wi-Fi frequency band, 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz. Internet is enabled. Go back. Go back again. So there's a quick overview of the Dashcam Link app. And again, this app will allow you to go into settings and make changes and also look at the live video. So now let's take this to the vehicle and I'll show you how to install this Dashcam. For this review, I'll be installing the Q1000 dash camera into my 2017 Nissan Pathfinder. Now if you're installing this dash cam into your vehicle, Remember, this dash cam comes with a heat blocking film that you see right here. And to install this, what you want to do is remove the backing on this film. And there's an adhesive on the back here. And then stick the film directly onto the windshield. After you install this, remove the backing on a double-sided tape of the windshield mount. And then stick this right in the middle of this film. With this installed, now you can slide this dash cam onto the mount and it'll be mounted like this. Now since I'm reviewing this dash cam, and I will remove it later on, I'm not going to install the heat blocking film right now. But I will install this windshield mount directly onto the windshield and then mount the dash cam in this position. I'll remove the backing on a double-sided tape. Now connect the rear camera cable. The length of this cable is 24 feet. Connect the rear camera cable to this connector on the dash cam. When it comes to powering the dash cam, you have two options. One is a cigarette lighter power cable that you see right here, and the other one is a hardwire cable. For this install, I'll show you how to install the hardwire cable. But if you're installing the cigarette lighter power cable, it's very simple. Just plug this connector into the power input port, and then plug this connector into your 12-volt accessory port. Next, I'll connect the hardwire power cable. The length of this hardwire cable is 9 feet long. Run both cables up to the headliner and over to the A-pillar. Pull back the weather stripping. So run this rear camera cable up along the edge right here. Now you need to be careful and keep the cable away from the side curtain airbag. Run the power cable down along the side and over to the fuse box. Tuck the cable behind the plastic panel. And then bring the cable in from behind. Now reinstall the weather stripping. Here I have the rear camera cable run to the back. Now route this cable underneath the weather stripping to the center of the vehicle. To install the rear camera, remove the backing on a double-sided tape, and I'm going to stick this directly onto the back window on this SUV. Now connect the rear camera cable. To find out which fuse you can use for ignition 12 volt and constant 12 volt, you should look at the cover of your fuse box. It will identify what components are for each fuse. So for example, on this vehicle, the power socket accessory 1 is ignition 12 volt, and then the electrical parts bat 2 is constant 12 volt. You should also verify with a multimeter. So for example, if I test the 10 amp fuse, I have 12 volt. To properly tap a wire into your factory fuse box, you should be using these type of fuse taps. With this, it allows you to keep your existing fuse in the circuit and also add an additional circuit for your accessory. When you remove the factory fuse from this location, you want to take that fuse and plug it into the bottom spot right here, and then we'll plug this fuse tap into the fuse box. The yellow wire goes to constant 12 volt, so I'll crimp this end to my fuse tap. Now I'm going to remove this and then plug the original fuse into this bottom slot. Now before you plug the fuse tap into the fuse box, you want to take your multimeter and test which side the voltage is coming in on. So on the right side, I have 12 volt. On the left side, 0 volt. That tells me voltage is coming in on the right side. It goes through the fuse and it goes out on the left side. So on this vehicle, I'll need to plug this fuse tap in this direction. Voltage is going to come in on the right side, go through the fuse, and go out on the left side. For the red wire that goes to ignition 12 volt, same thing, crimp this end to the fuse tap. Remove that 20 amp fuse. Get your multimeter, test which side is coming in on. Once you know which way it needs to go ahead and plug the fuse tap into the fuse panel. And here's a look at the fuse box with the 2 fuse taps installed. Put the cover back on. Now the last connection you need to make is this ground wire. It already has a ring terminal at the end. I'll connect this to a bolt that's right behind the hood release. With everything wired up, I'll turn on the ignition. The dash cam will power on automatically and begin recording both the front and rear camera. Turn on the ignition.
Please have a safe drive today.
And because I installed the hardwire power cable, when I turn off the ignition, the dash cam will go into parking mode after 30 seconds.
Parking recording will now start.
In parking mode, the dashcam will detect any motion on the front camera and rear camera and record the events. It will also record a video when it detects an impact to the vehicle. I'll simulate an impact to the vehicle by hitting the A-pillar with my fist. That beep you heard tells you the impact was detected and is recording a short video right now. If there were any event recording while the vehicle is parked, when you come back to your car, turn on the ignition, the dashcam will notify you of that.
During parking mode, event detection recording. 1. Occurred. Please have a safe drive today.
When you hear that, you can use your mobile app to connect to the dashcam and check out what the event recording was. Now, the other thing you need to do after installation is open up the Thinkware app and look at the live view so you can adjust the viewing angle of the front and rear camera. So here I have the app open. At the top, you see the connect to dashcam. Press that.
Connected to a smartphone.
Here it tells you dashcam's connected. Now select live view. Right now you're looking at the live view of the front camera. If you want to look at the rear camera, select the R at the top. Here's a look at the rear view. You can also rotate this so you can look at it full screen. If you want to turn off this grid line, select this icon at the top right here. While looking at the live view, if you find that you need to adjust the viewing angle of the front camera or the rear camera, go ahead and do that so you can set it up properly. And when you're done, select disconnect at the top right here.
Disconnected from a smartphone.
So in this video, I've shown you everything you need to know about this dash camera, how to install it, and how the parking mode works. I'll do a second video showing you more about the parking mode recording feature, also the ADAS feature, and show you both the daytime and nighttime recording from this dash camera. If you're interested in getting this dash cam, check out the link below. If you use the affiliate link I have, you'll automatically get 5% off on your purchase. If you have any questions or comments, leave one in the comment section. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. To support this channel, remember to click on thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you get notified of new videos.